Good evening and welcome to another exciting stream of mine. I I haven't got my viewer figures on, so I've got no idea how many people are watching. Because I've decided that I'm not going to I'm not going to take any notice of that. Right. I'm going to go through a couple of things in a minute, but first of all, I want to apologise. I want to apologise that I didn't stream on Wednesday. You can probably hear it in my voice. I don't feel my voice isn't that good tonight. On Wednesday, I actually felt quite ill, so I decided not to stream on Wednesday. So if you were waiting for that, I'm really sorry. I do apologise for that. Uh, but I'm feeling a bit better today. That's the only trouble with cancer. It's one of those things that sometimes you feel good, sometimes you don't. It's just how it is. I'm going to talk about old age today, and something that somebody said to me a long time ago that I never really understood. They said you'll never ever get old alone, and I couldn't quite work out exactly what that meant. What did that mean? You'll never get old alone. Well, that's coming home to roost. That's coming home to roost quite seriously. I've got here in my hands a piece of paper. Right, I'm just changing the subject completely. Got hands in a piece of paper. Why have I got in my hands a piece of paper? Well, as some of you know, I broke a world record, but I've never really capitalised on it. Back in the 1990s, I did a series of radio commercials for Safeway. I think in Morrison's. Somebody correct me on that. I was talking about this the other day, and I wanted to know: did Safeways become Morrison's? Does anyone know? Can anyone let me know? I'm sure they became Morrison's. Anyway, why have I got this piece of paper in my hand? This piece of paper in my hand is a script. What is it a script for? It is a script for a radio commercial, and I will be recording it on Wednesday night, Wednesday afternoon. Hi, Michael. How are you? At least somebody's come to say hi to me. At least I know somebody's watching me. So yeah, this is a script, and it's a script for a radio commercial. And it's a script for a radio commercial for fast talking. So I'm actually going to be doing a fast talking radio commercial on Wednesday. I'm not sure when the commercial will be going out on the radio. Normally, from the time of recording these things, I mean, the last one I did was in the late 90s, and it was normally about 6 weeks from recording. Hi Tracy and hi Ray. So hi people. A few more have joined us. That's good to see. That's very good to see. So I'm going to be recording this radio commercial, which I'm hoping my voice clears up by then, so that I can do it. It should do. I've got all my medication. And this radio commercial is a stepping stone, because I used to be a member of Equity, and I used to have an agent, and I used to belong to a voice casting agency. However, it's like everything else. If you don't keep it up, it lapses. So my agent dropped me, and I was taken off of the books of the voice casting agency, and my Equity, which is the Actors Union membership, lapsed. And which is great, which didn't really bother me. Can I please share my Netflix with you? For those watching, right, Ray on YouTube has asked if I can share my Netflix with him. Well, Ray, I'll tell you how you can get free Netflix. Do you want to know how you can get free Netflix, completely free? That nobody needs to share it with you. Do you want to know how to do it? I'll wait for you to reply, and I'll tell you exactly how you can get free Netflix. All right, you just need to know the secret, and there is a secret to it. Right. So I'm going to be making that commercial, and that commercial is going to open up my door, because the agency won't take you back on again unless you've got existing work, and Equity won't give you new membership unless you've got existing work. So this will give me this will open up the doorstep for me to go in. It's also quite a nice little earner. I mean, you do get paid, even though I'm not in the union. You will get paid union rates, and for a 1 hour recording, I should get about £1,400. I do have to pay tax and national insurance on that, but altogether it'll be about £1,000. Right, Ray. This is how you get free Netflix, right? You go up to a policeman in your country. You go up to any policeman and you say to them, you say, I hear that if I give you the secret sign, you will give me free Netflix. And then you give them the secret sign. That's all you have to do. Any policeman, just do that to them. And I promise you, in your cell, you can have as much Netflix as you like. Am I going to share my Netflix with you? No, you can go and fuck spiders, right? I can't stand beggars. No, I'm not going to share my Netflix with you. That's not happening. No way. Yeah, Tracy, that's union rates, £1,400. So for an hour's work, so it's actually not an hour's work; it's more than an hour's work. You said that you thought that I lived in London, in the centre of London. If you notice, I've got Tower Bridge behind me just because of you said that. I live right in the outskirts, but this recording is Ray Nez, he's getting on my tits. I agree. This recording is taking place. I've got to go to West One, to the recording studios for this. Now I live in South London, spelled SARF, South London, right? Which is South London, which is south of the river, which we don't have the tube out here. All right, we don't have the tube out here. So it makes getting into central London a bit of a mission. I've got to laugh, right? I've got to laugh about this because my kids always say they're going up London. They're going up London. I think, well, hang on a minute. You know, Chislehurst, where I live, has been in London since 1968. So when you say you're going up London, right, you're already in London. No, Richard, you can't have free Netflix. That's not happening, all right? I'm not giving free Netflix to anybody, all right? I don't have Netflix. I don't have television. I don't have any computers, and I don't have the internet, all right? So there's no point in asking me because I don't have the internet. Right. It's a mission to get up there, and it's going to involve a bus, a train, a tube, and possibly another bus, which in my condition is going to be amusing. Luckily enough, my missus is coming with me. I just got to have a sip of this from that, you know. Oh, right. Let's have a quick joke, shall we? Do we want a quick joke? We'll have a quick joke. Yeah. Well, I noticed all week you've been laughing at my dad jokes, so we'll have a dad joke. One morning, while his wife was making breakfast, a man walked up to her and gave her a slap on the arse. And he said to her, you know, if you firmed your bum up, you could get rid of your girdle. The wife was a bit annoyed about this, but she didn't say anything. Next morning, her husband came up to her and he tweaked her nipples, and he said, if you firm these up a bit, we could, you could get rid of your bra. She was angry, but she didn't say anything. So the next morning, the wife walked up to her husband, grabbed his cock, and said, if you firm this up, we could get rid of the postman, the gardener, and your brother. Right. Yeah, so West One I'm going up to. Right, yeah, you never get old alone. You never get old alone. I never understood what that meant. I never understood what people were saying when they said that. What did they mean? You never get old alone, right? What they mean is that with old age comes all sorts of things, including all these fucking diseases and illnesses, right? I mean, about 8 weeks ago, my eyes started watering, and they started pouring with water every morning when I got up, and they would continuously water. I'm just looking at my background. I can't work out why my background keeps going out. Nothing's moving. I've got nothing moving in here, so God knows. Yeah, I will. You're never alone. You're never alone. About 8 weeks ago, my eyes started to water every time I got up, and they would water for 5 to 6 hours each day. And it was actually quite annoying how badly they would water. It was It was very annoying, and it happens every morning. And I didn't think anything of it. I thought it's because I'm getting up early. I'm probably not getting enough sleep, and that's what's causing my eyes to water. Turns out I have something called, and I can't pronounce this, but we'll give it a go anyway. Turns out I have something called, where are we? Oh, I did have it. I did have it. I did have it sorted out somewhere. Um, Meibomian gland dysfunction. Meibomian. It's named after the German doctor that studied it. Apparently, right? Apparently, your eyes, they produce tears, but they also produce oil, and there's a film of oil that covers your eyes that the water sits on, and stops your eyes from drying out. And it's actually the same principle. Many of you know that I was a printer for many years, and that's actually exactly the same principle as offset lithography. That water and oil don't mix. It's also the same principle as shaving oil. Water and oil don't mix. Shaving oil, you put the shaving oil on, but it actually sits on a film of water on your face. So when you put the shaving oil on, you actually put the shaving oil on your face. You're putting it onto your That's for men, by the way. You're putting it onto a film of water on your face. Well, it's the same with the eyes. Anyway, you've got this gland, and it's inside your eyelids, right just below your eyelashes. This gland, and it produces oil. And what happens as you get older is this gland on each of your eyes gets a bit blocked up. And with oil gunk, you know that the old expression, I'm just going to rub the sleep out of my eyes, and that gunk you get in your eyes, that's the oil from your I'm not going to pronounce it, I can't pronounce it, from your glands. Yeah, it's best you find a copper, Richard. It's and it's that gunk. Anyway, your gland becomes blocked up and doesn't produce the oil, which means that the tears dry up quite quickly. And what was happening is when I was falling asleep, this sounds really gross, all right? When I was falling asleep, shutting my eyes, my eyelids were sticking to my corneas. Now, this is what the optician told me, all right? Now, the cornea is the fastest healing organ on the body. It heals faster than anything else. And what would happen is when I woke up in the morning and my eyelids would open, they would actually tear the cornea. And he said, if you imagine when you were a kid and you fell over and grazed your knee, he said that's what your corneas look like right now, because I saw him not long after I'd opened my eyes. And he said that's what your corneas look like. But because they're such fast healers, it'll take about 5 to 6 hours for the cornea to heal back to normal. But in the meanwhile, your eyes are producing excess water. And that's why I was pouring the water for about 8 weeks. And I'd given myself a couple of eye infections as well, where you can't see rubbing your eyes. I'd given myself a couple of eye infections as well. I thought it was conjunctivitis, but it was just eye infections. So I've got to deal with that. Now, he said that word, didn't he? He said that word, incurable. This gland dysfunction is incurable. I'm getting to hear that a lot. Oh, Mr. Woodmore, you've got arthritis. It's incurable. Oh, Mr. Woodmore, you've got cancer. It's incurable. Oh, Mr. Woodmore, you've got bronchiectasis. It's incurable. Oh, Mr. Woodmore, you've got mobium, whatever it is, eye disease. It's incurable. You get that word a lot. So yeah, that's what it means. You never get old alone. All right. It comes with lots of incurable conditions. I mean, it's just you think, oh God, not another one. I've got to live with this. So my routine now in the morning, right? I can remember about 20 years ago, right? I used to get out of bed. I could get out of bed. I could get out of the house in 10 minutes. Nowadays, Christ, no, I can't. And I'm going to go through the procedure. Yeah, I know, Tracy, it is like that. I'm going to go through the procedure that I have to go through, right? This is how you deal with this. Right, first of all, I have to increase my omega-3 fish oils. All right. Now, he said the best way to do it is to eat oily fish. Now, I do like sardines on toast. Sean hates them. Sean hates sardines, but I like sardines on toast. But I can only stomach them once a week. So I'm not going to increase the amount of sardines on toast. I do like a bit of cod or scampi, but they're not oily enough. So I've got myself some omega-3 supplements. So you've got to increase your fish oil intake. But next thing you've got to do is in the morning when you get up, you've got to put this. This is called Theolos Duo. All right, it's artificial tears plus an eye lubricant, and you've got to do this 4 times a day. You've got to put 1 drop in each eye. Now, of all the medical procedures I hate doing, right? Of all the medical procedures I have to do, putting drops in my eye is the one that really gives me the EBGBs. It's the one that gives me the same sensation as scratching your fingernails down a blackboard. I can't stand watching the drip coming towards my eye, and it's just horrible. All right, and you have to force your eye open because you're constantly trying to shut it. But I've got to put 1 drip in each eye 4 times a day. The most important ones are when I first get up in the morning and when I go to bed at night. So that's what I've got to do. That's one part of the procedure. Second part of the procedure is that I've got to clean my glands, right? Not my gland, my Mobian gland. I've got to clean them. Now, these glands are actually right on the eye line of the eyelid under your eyelashes. Yes. And the only way to clean them is with a cotton bud. And it's a very uncomfortable thing to do because you've actually got to have your eye open to do it. And I have to use Cetaphil, which is an oil removing cleanser, and you have to remove the old gunk from the glands, and you do it with a cotton bud and warm water, and you just put a bit of Cetaphil on your hand and a bit of warm water, and you've got to get it in there, and you've got to get it under your eyelid, and you've got to try and do that without actually poking your eye, which is a very, very hard thing to do. All right, I'll give that a try, Tracy. Thank you. Tracy has just said close your eyes and put it in your corner, open your eyes and blink. Yeah, I could give that a try. So anyway, you've got to, and you've really got to get in there with some pressure, and you've got to do this at the same time, struggling not to poke your eye with this cotton thing. By the way, if Q-tips, cotton buds, don't buy plastic ones. All right, they take years to rot down. Get bamboo ones. That's what I've got. I've got bamboo ones. The cotton on the top is a natural cotton, which is biodegradable, and the stick is bamboo, which is biodegradable. So get bamboo ones. They're actually the same price as the plastic ones, but the plastic ones they'll be there forever. And I think we've got enough plastic in our lives. We don't need to add to it anymore. So for Q-tips, cotton buds, whatever you call them, use bamboo ones. So you've got to do that, and you've got to do that once a day to clean the gunk out. You've got to do that once a day. But then you've got to massage your eyelids, and you've got to do this in a way that you don't actually infect your eyes or cause any other problems. So it's just literally running your finger along the base, right where your lashes are, but not any lower than that. Otherwise, you'll end up poking yourself in the eye, without too much pressure. So you've got to do that, and your hands have got to be scrupulously clean. I mean, I use an alcohol cleaner. I've got some. That's 80% ethanol, so I've squirted some of that on my hands and let it dry before you go poking it in your eye. Trust me on that one, right? And then you've got to do that. So that's the massage you've got to do. You've got to do that for about 10 minutes, and then before you go to bed at night, what you've got to do is the optician recommended you can get a gel pack which you stick in the microwave and heat it up and put it on your eyes, because the warmth thins the oil and causes the gland, it stimulates the gland. But of course I found a gadget, didn't I? I found a gadget. Look, a gadget. Yeah, I found a gadget, all right? It's a USB heated, right? A USB heated mask that goes over your eyes, and you just plonk it on over your eyes and turn it on, and it really does get quite warm. And the idea is to stimulate your eyes or stimulate the glands to produce oil, and that's what you've got to do. And like everything else, I've got to do that every day for the rest of my life. And just fucking, it's just a fucking nightmare. And like I said, I've got to go through these. These are not the only procedures I've got to go through. I've got so many different procedures now that I have to go through when I get up in the morning. It's just, oh. I weighed myself today. That's a big mistake, right? I weighed myself today, didn't I? I weighed myself today. I'm over 100 kilos. I'm over 100. I am a fat fuck. I mean, that is. I am obese. I am well into obese. I mean, how heavy is 100 kilos? In old money, it's about 16 stone. It's just under 16 stone. For most of my life, I've been 12 stone. I prefer metric. 75 kilos. So, over the course of the last 2.5 years, no, in fact 2 years now, I came out of hospital. This time in 2019, I came out of hospital and I weighed 72 kilos. In fact, quite a few of you posted on Facebook at the time saying that you thought I should put on some weight. Well, I did, didn't I? Fuck it, hell did I. Part of that is giving up smoking. Because while I was in hospital, I gave up smoking. Part of that is giving up smoking, but the rest of it is purely down to my illness. But it's not my illness that's making me fat. It's me making me fat. What's happening with the illness is because I'm getting CRF, right? Which is CRF is called cancer-related fatigue. I'm not exercising. I'm not. My mobility has gone bump. I mean, when I was an eBay seller, an Amazon seller, my watch. I've got a smartwatch. My smartwatch is. I would do 12,000 steps a day, easily, and I've got my watches targeted to give me 5,000 steps a day. And today I've only managed 3,800, so I'm 25% of what I would do on a normal day. So that's where the weight is coming on from, because I'm still eating the same, but I'm slowing down. I'm not exercising so much because of this fatigue, and this fatigue is a nightmare. I'll give you an example of how bad it is. I went to bed last night at midnight. I was up at 7, so I had a good sleep. I can tell you exactly how much sleep I had actually. Um, ugh. 6 hours and 24 minutes of sleep last night, which is okay. I can 6 hours is good. I can work on 6 hours. So I had 6 hours of sleep, 6.5 hours of sleep. Got up at 7 a.m. And just potted about this morning. What did I do this morning? Nothing really. We had the occupational therapist come round to check all the work that I've had done. So we just potted around this morning, and the occupational therapist come and checked the work, and by about 11 o'clock I was back in bed again. For an hour and a half. I went to bed, hour and a half. That's the cancer related fatigue. And I got up just before 1, and I went out and did something in the front garden. I had a couple of little jobs to do, nothing major. Just literally pottering around, and I finished those about 4. And Sean said that she was going up to bed. The reason she went up to bed at that time is because she works nights and she's working tonight. She's working all night tonight, so when she's on nights, she goes to bed in the afternoon to sort of pre-bank her sleep, so that while she's working nights, she's got to sleep. So she went to bed. And I said okay, and I came down into my den, which where I am now, and I just laid down on the bed thinking I'll just lay it for 5 minutes, and I fell asleep for another hour and a half. So that's what the cancer-related fatigue does to me. And of course, because I'm getting older, my metabolism's slowing down as well. I mean, I'm 61 years old, and I mean, I can't do half the things I used to do, but it's just meant that this weight has piled on, and it's just unbelievable the way that it's piled on. What the occupational therapist said to me today, she said to me that because they've got the new wet room in and the stair lift in, hopefully that will leave me energy to be able to exercise better. To be able to exercise better. Um, so hopefully I need to get some of this weight off. I mean, I can't believe that I weigh 16 stone. That's well, I can't. Sorry, stone. It does. It's just. It's actually 15.9 stone. I weigh 101.2 kilos, which I think is 15 stone, 12 pounds, something like that. That is a ridiculous amount for me to weigh. I mean, I'm only 5'6", um, which means I've got a belly, the belly from hell. I mean, I can't see my feet when I look down, and I'm worried that when I go out, if I fall over, I'm going to rock myself to sleep. I'm that fat, so I've really, really got to do something. Trouble is, everything that I need to do to lose weight is aerobic or anaerobic exercise, and I've got a lung condition, which means I'm really struggle. If I get out, I can't do any exercises that get me out of breath. So how do you exercise without getting out of breath? Yeah, I know, it's a crazy thing. I do have an electric bike. The good thing about the electric bike is the the power of the motor on the electric bike overcomes your body weight. So that means that when you're cycling, you're actually using no effort to do the cycling, or you're not using any effort. It's using your lung capacity. You're actually just using your legs, and the motor for the bike is amplifying it. Now, I know that sounds crazy, cycling without using breath, but if anybody's ridden an electric bike, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about by the bike multiplying your effort. I mean, my bike will propel me up to the electric motor will propel me up to about 15 miles an hour. Well, the chances of me going any faster than 15 miles an hour on the flat are very remote. But I guess it is some exercise, and it is some exercise where I'm expending effort but not getting out of breath. That's the trick, right? That's the trick. It's expending effort but not getting out of breath. Walking I can't do because walking, oh, excuse me, walking, walking is means that I've got my own body weight working against me. Every step I take, I'm heaving 16 stone about. Oh, the electric bike helps in that respect. I'm not heaving that 16 stone about. Oh, I need a bit of a drink here. Sorry. You like my cup? Look with my. Right. In case anybody's wondering, that's a tattoo of a piston. I think you can see it. One of them 3D tattoos. Can you see it? I had that done to celebrate the end of chemotherapy. Got another one on my other arm. Look, you can guess what that is. That's my nickname. I have other tattoos. I have tattoos up here. I have a tattoo on my arse, which is a very rude tattoo. It's very rude. And only a few people have seen the tattoo on my arse because it's quite intimate, and it's in a position where you would be intimate to see it. So just thought I'd share that. I do have tattoos. Right, okay. I did have some notes that I was going to go through, but my GP recommended the Mediterranean diet for me to lose weight. Yeah, yeah. The missus has Sean has a hairy bikers cookbook. I've no idea who the hairy bikers are, but I saw her with it earlier on today. She's got a hairy bikers diet cookbook. So the Mediterranean diet, that's a lot of fish and vegetables, isn't it? So it's not just diet for me though, Tracy. It's diet and exercise, and also, yeah, you said it yourself. It's a complete lifestyle change. This is the problem. I can't really change my lifestyle. I've got so many things. I've got so many things going wrong that I can't change my lifestyle. I mean, my doctor, my GP, and my haematologist, right, and my thoracic surgeon, my thoracic consultant, right. I've got all these doctors looking after me. I've all said exactly the same thing. Yes, I need to lose weight, but I've got to do it carefully because it's a trade-off. As I lose weight, I've got to be careful that I lose. I've got to be careful how I lose weight because if I lose too much too quickly, I leave myself open to more infections because my immune system is down. So it's not as easy as completely changing my lifestyle. I can't change my lifestyle. I mean, my lifestyle is bad enough as it is. I mean, I'm virtually a prisoner in my own home. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm actually really looking forward to going out next Wednesday. Next Wednesday will be the first time I've been out of the house in weeks. But at the same time, I've got to be very aware. I've got to wear my mask. I've got an N95 mask that takes inserts. My mask I don't wear when I'm out. I don't wear that. I don't wear that to protect other people from me. I wear that to protect me from other people. So I'm looking forward to that. But at the same time, I'm very aware that it's that. So I can't really change my lifestyle. It's one of those ones that it's difficult. So I've got to be very careful about all of these diets. Plus, yeah, I'm supposed to have started my chemotherapy last week because, in case you didn't know, my cancer has come back. And I was supposed to start my chemotherapy last week, but the tablets, lenalidomide, which is another name for thalidomide, you can't. The doctor can't just prescribe them. They have to get permission from NHS England to prescribe them, and the consultant didn't do the correct paperwork, which meant that until she's done the correct paperwork, which she still hasn't done, and it's been 2 weeks now, and I've been nagging them all the time, and I'm going to nag them again on Monday. The pharmacy won't release my tablets, and it's got to be the hospital pharmacy because these tablets are so dangerous. So I've got to be very careful. I've got to be so careful. I mean, there's things that I can't do. Once I start these tablets, right, I can't eat any meat that I eat. Any meat that I eat. I mean, I love steak. So rare, right? So rare that when you stick a fork in it, it goes moo and it walks across the plate. All right, that's how I like my steak. I put a nice big juicy lump of steak in there and suck the juices out of that bitch in my mouth. That's how I love my steak. But if I'm going to eat steak, it's got to be almost burnt. It's got to be cooked all the way through. Everything's got to be cooked. Everything that you would likely cook has got to be cooked thoroughly. I mean, salmon is one of those fish that's very, very gently cooked. But if I'm going to eat salmon, it's got to be cooked thoroughly. I can't eat anything that leaves me open to infection. And unfortunately, if the Mediterranean diet involves lots of vegetables, unfortunately, vegetables will be good for you, but they're not very hygienic in that respect. So I've got to be careful there. Everything's affecting everything. It's just an absolute fucking nightmare of my life. Doing all these things. But I'm trying to get my life back together again. I mean, if this radio commercial works and it goes out on air, it may not go out on air. I'll still get paid whether it goes out on air or not. If this radio commercial goes out on air and I do get my foot back in the door again, it might lead to doing something. And this time round, I'm in a position where I can actually do what I need to do to earn money. I've just noticed I didn't realise I was streaming on my own Facebook account. Oh well. I did say I wasn't going to do that. Oh well. I did wonder when I looked over why I was seeing Richard talking to me, Richard and Michael talking to me, and I couldn't see them on my restream dashboard. So yeah, right. Where are we? Where are we? We are at 8:05, and I'm running out of things to waffle about. So what can we do? 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 Let's have some. Uh, let's have some jokes. I just got to find some. I can't remember every joke I've ever been told, so um, just got to find some. So hang on. Oh. A teacher, a psychology teacher, starting a new class by saying, "Everyone who thinks they're stupid, stand up." After a few seconds, Johnny stands up. The teacher said, "Do you really think you're stupid, Johnny?" And he looked at her and said, "No, miss, but I hate to see you standing up there all by yourself." I can wait. A young ventriloquist is touring the clubs, and one night he's doing a club in a small town with his dummy on his knee, and he's going through his usual dumb blonde jokes when a blonde woman in the fourth row stands on a chair and starts shouting, "I've had enough of your stupid jokes. What makes you think you can stereotype women that way? What does the colour of a person's hair have to do with her worth as a human being? It's guys like you who keep women like me from being respected at work in the community and from reaching our full potential as women. Because you and your kind continue to perpetuate this discrimination against blondes and women in general, all in the name of humour." The ventriloquist is really embarrassed by this and says, "I'm really, really sorry." And the blonde yells at him, "You stay out of this, mate. I'm talking to the idiot on your knee." A vicar fell in the ocean. He's on a cruise and he fell in the ocean. He couldn't swim. When a boat came by and the captain yelled, "Do you need any help?" And the vicar looked up and said, "No, no, no. God will save me." A little later, another boat come by and a fishing boat come by, and the fisherman said to the vicar, "Do you need any help?" And the vicar said, "No, no, no. God will save me." Eventually, the vicar drowned. And he went to heaven, and he's waiting at the pearly gates there, and God greeted him, and the preacher said to God, he said, "Why the hell didn't you save me?" And the God replied, "Because you're an idiot. I already sent you two boats." Yes, I shall give up with a comedy. I shall give up with a comedy. Right, okay. Well, in that case, anybody out there, I've not got my viewing figures on, so I don't know who's watching. So, is there anything we'd like to talk about? Is there anything out there we want to talk about apart from trying to wangle free Netflix out of me? Incidentally, Tracy, he's wandered off. Obviously going to go and try and get free Netflix off of somebody else. So if there's nothing else, oh, oh, give my voice a chance to recover. If there's nothing else, I will end my stream a little earlier than I would do normally. Good best film series. Good best film series. Well, I'll tell you my favourite film series. I absolutely love the Predator and the Alien franchises. I absolutely love them. With my favourite film being Predator 2, which is the one that stars Danny Glover. The other franchise that I love was Alien. Um, which my favourite one of that being Aliens 2, funnily enough, which obviously starred Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn. That was my favourite. Um, Predator 2 I love. Um, Terminator, I love that franchise as well. I've got no particular favourite. I think the last one, I forget what it's called. What it's called, the Terminator one, where they did it on a. They did it. Linda Hamilton came back and they did it. They did it on a. They reversed it so that the Terminator was actually helping himself, and they did the story. I forget what that was called. It's. I've seen. I've got the internet in front of me. Terminator Genesis. Um, it was either Terminator Genesis or Terminator Dark Fate. The first Terminator was groundbreaking. And then, I mean, they've all been good, but then Terminator Genesis and Terminator Dark Fate, I really enjoyed. They were really good. Um, Predator, like I said, Predator 2, Alien 2, and those. I've not watched. I must admit, I've not. I've never watched a Harry Potter film. I've never watched a Harry Potter film at all. Um, I've never watched any of the Hobbit. I think they've done a trilogy. I've never ever watched any of the Hobbit ones. The only reason being is because for my A level at school, the Hobbit it wasn't just the Hobbit. Tolkien, the books of Tolkien are one of the things that I studied, and they pissed me off. And I'm not into that wizards and dragons. It's not. I prefer fiction. The TV series that I've just watched. I've just finished watching 24. This on Disney Plus. This one, 24 Legacy, which is the follow on from 24. Doesn't star Jack Bauer. Doesn't star Keith Sutherland as Jack Bauer. It stars another guy, Sergeant Chris Ellis, I think, an ex-army veteran. But it's got the same watchability as the 24. It's called 24 Legacy. It's got the same watchability though, because after I watched one episode, I wanted to watch another one. So it's got the same episode. It's got the same watchability as 24. But 24 Legacy, they only made one series of. It's going to be there's another series in production at the moment, but it's going to take a slightly different format. But I've just finished watching that 24 Legacy, and I quite enjoyed it. I'm also watching War of the Worlds. I've just finished season 1 of War of the Worlds. Not the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds. This one stars Gabrielle Byrne, and it's very much based in Britain, and it's quite good. We've just got to the point where I won't give you a spoiler, but we just got to the point where they discover who the aliens really are, and it comes as quite a surprise. So I've yet to watch season 2 of that, which I'll probably start watching maybe tonight. What else have I finished? Bosch, on Amazon Prime. Bosch, yeah, just Bosch, just like the lawnmower and washing machine people. Bosch, Hieronymus Bosch, a detective in Los Angeles. I think it's about 6 seasons of that. I quite enjoyed that. That was quite good. Yeah, that was good. I like that. They had some good stories there. I've watched, and it lost its way in the last series. That Scottish one, Highlander. No, not Highlander. Oh, it starred Catriona Balfe, and Sam. What's his name? Um, the Outlander. Outlander. I think it was called. Yeah. I watched the first 5 series, but I watched the 6th one. It started to get once they landed in America, it started to get a bit lost. It started to lose its way, and I thought, no, I can't watch that anymore. Outlander, is that what it's called? Outlander? Yeah, I'm sure it's called Outlander. All right, it's good. The first 5 series are very good. I don't normally watch weepy love stories, but it was actually quite good. And the first series was very very good. So I quite enjoyed that. What else have I just watched just recently? I watched the 5th series of The Expanse because that came on. The third series of Star Trek Discovery. I can't think what else I've watched. There must be something else I've watched. Must have been other things I've watched. I did all the Sons of Anarchy. I enjoyed that Sons of Anarchy. I keep meaning to start Breaking Bad. I haven't got round to that one yet, but that's one that I keep meaning to watch Breaking Bad. But no, I haven't got round to that one yet. Um, um, I've got on my list Mandalorian. That's on Disney. That's something that I must watch. I subscribe to Apple TV, but I've stopped subscribing to Apple TV now. I subscribed to Apple TV for a month to watch a film, a Tom Hanks film, Greyhound. If you like war films, that's a very good. That's a very good film, Greyhound. And I watched the film, and the other day Sean said, because I've now got Disney Plus, Sean said, let's watch the Marvels in order. And I've never been a great fan of the Marvel franchise and the X-Men and things like that. They've not. I like the Thor films, but they've not really. The Marvels themselves have not really appealed to me. But we started watching them, and we watched the first one, which is Captain America. So I watched them in chronological order, not in the order the films are made, but in the time order. And we just watched Captain America, which I actually quite enjoyed. And Captain Marvel is the next one we're due to watch. We should have watched it this week, but like I said, during the middle of the week, I was not. I was quite seriously, I was quite bad, so we didn't get around to doing that. So hopefully we'll do that on tomorrow night. Watch Captain Marvel. Grab a bottle of wine and sit down in the front room and watch it together. Other than that, my week, of course, didn't help that my week's been disrupted with all this work. Stairlift's finally fitted. The wet room's finally done. And they're working out the back. And they're actually going to be working Bank Holiday Monday, funnily enough. They're working out the back. What they're doing out the back is to get out of my back door down into my garden. It's about 18 inches and it's a bit of a big step. And in my condition, sometimes I can't quite manage it. So they're making it a level access and they're building me a little platform out there that I can use out the back there to get around on. So I can't really explain it to you. You'll understand when it's. I've got some photographs that I'm going to put up on my blog a bit later of the work in progress. I know what they're going to be finishing because I've seen the plans, but it's very hard to describe. But I've had disruption with all that because not only am I not feeling very well, I've had to be getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning for these builders. What the fuck is it with? Why do builders want to start at 8 o'clock in the morning? What is it with these people? Why are these people wanting to start at 8 o'clock in the morning? Why can't they start at 11 in the morning? Eh? You know, I mean, what's all this early morning shit? I mean, you know, I'm so not a morning person. I really, you know, just. And it's not 8 o'clock. If they come around at 8 o'clock, I've got to get up at 7:30. In fact, I should have got up at 7, really, because by the time I've done my eyes and everything, which reminds me, this eye is starting to feel really gritty. So, on that note, I'm going to have to go because I'm going to have to lubricate my eyes, and I can feel my voice going. So, as much as I'd love to stay and chat, I can't. So, I'm gonna bid you all farewell, and hopefully I'll be able to do this again on Monday. So, until then, thank you, Tracy, and whoever else is watching. It's been a pleasure. So, good night, everyone.